Good evening, everybody. Welcome, everyone. It is Thursday night? Thursday night. Yes. How's everyone doing? 1 second. Okay. Everything is good. Everything is good. Oh, anyway, my friends. I hope everyone else is doing good. Hope you're all having an excellent week so far. Apologies and F's in chat for those of you who own Stadia. But I think we all knew where that was heading for apparently a lot earlier than Google knew. But you know, it's as unsurprising as it was still unfortunate, so we say. Anyway, my friends, we're back and we're gonna try and actually complete Assassin's Creed Odyssey finally tonight, my friends. I like how it says I've played 52 hours here, but it's been more than double that. More than double that. I feel like. Get in here. We'll see. We'll get a final tally based on the save game file once we're finished. But we're right at the end of the game, so spoilers abound as we go. Just a warning, everybody. Now we're in spoilerific territory. So we're about to wrap this puppy up, and then I got most of my thoughts gathered on my final thoughts on the game. So I'm going to do, as usual, a recording of that. Which eventually, I have recordings of other games too that I just have not put up on the YouTubes. I've been very, very lax with the YouTubes. Been tired, I've been busy, it's been just one of those things. And I gotta sort of get back to it. Back to the old grind there at some point. Also, I've been trying to be a little more selective about the first impressions videos and things like that, trying to find games that other first impressioners out there haven't covered, which is a lot harder than you might think, because there's a lot of coverage on a lot of different things, but there are a few gems, I guess, or things that I feel like might have a future to them that kind of fall through the grasp. So it's nice to be able to highlight them as they go. Alright, so let's this thing, get this go on the road here, my friends. Game audio up. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boo doo 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 doo. Okay. Yeah, right. 122 hours and 23 minutes, though. Dinner at Sparta is our next one. We'll do this one because it's continues the story there, and then we'll we'll wrap it up, I think. I know I have a bunch more side things to do, but I think this just only the story, like, heavy side things is what I'm going to worry about. We'll get to the end here, because it's about time to put this one to bed, I think. I would say. Once it decides to load. Alright. Go have some dinner in Sparta with our newly convinced sister and our Mothra. Or Mater.
What?
You eat like a wild animal.
Well, you are at the table.
Tough crowd.
Tough crowd. They're already nagging him. How about Navis?
Well, that wasn't so bad, was it?
It'll never be the same. I thought it could, but it'll take some work.
It's impossible to see through the gods' eyes. They have a plan, you know. If we could, then we'd know just what to do.
I did this myself.
I don't think the gods can take credit for this one, Barnabas.
An urn is only as strong as its potter, Alexios.
Urns are pretty easy to break.
Just remember, no matter who surrounds you, I'll be there. And the others are waiting for us on the ship.
Right behind you.
I guess that was... Oh, emos can now be on the ship. New Game Plus. New Game Plus mode is now available. This mode allows you to restart the game from the beginning and will keep most of your progression. It's only available from a save file that is complete. The main story is accessed from the main menu by pausing the game. So, okay. So, I guess I haven't technically completed the game yet, though. It's just they're already saying like, here's New Game Plus, because we haven't killed the last of the people here. But it was weird the way that was worded. The way we're talking about Navis, it was like they made it generic enough that you wouldn't know. It would be the same whether you killed your sister or didn't. So what's going on with Socrates here? Also, our ship. One firepower when starting conflict. Plus one firepower. Javelin, fire javelin. Fire arrow damage. Oh yeah, there you go. Nice. We made it as far as tier S3 here. What? That's the final quest there, but viable and worth examining. Cemetery of Athens. I don't know why. I don't know why that showed up. Weird. I don't think there's a... I mean, there's probably a little bit of story there, like wrapping up us and Socrates, but I didn't feel like there was much of a thing to wrap up there anyway, so let's go and enter the Cult of Cosmos lair and get this show on the road, my friends. Way up here. And we have a fast travel right there at Apollo. Here we go. Let's do this. I do like that the game has a new game plus, but man, I can't imagine doing another 123 hours for new game plus. Alright, in we go.
Darkness. I should use it.
Approach the pyramid. I assume. Oh yeah, there's playing with me here. It's gonna be we'll call it force battle.
Alexios,
Huh.
it was never supposed to be like this. Decades ago, a group of people gathered together to uphold a theory which they believed could control the universe.
Tiger?
That the world functioned in equal parts, order and disorder. But some fell lovingly into the wicked arms of chaos, and the cult of Cosmos was born. They abused their power, casting the Greek world into eternal war. One you were created to stop.
Yeah.
In destroying the cult, you have done what I could not. You are a hero, but this imbalance comes with a price, my child. For without chaos, there is supreme order, a loss of progression and freedom. But there is still hope. Hope in you. Hope in the future you will bring. We must fix the mistakes of the past. Use the staff. Repair the rift in the universe. The world depends on you, Alexios. You need to be the hero again.
Yeah, and I've been the hero the whole time, dude.
So, you've seen it too then. It's beautiful, isn't it?
What are you doing here?
You killed the last member of the cult. Well, just about.
What?
It's true. I was their leader, but only for a moment it seemed. When your sister came along, it changed everything we were aiming for.
Did you agree with the cult?
You agreed with them? The fucking cult?
The powers that be in the Greek world weren't doing things the right way. The cult just wanted a clean slate.
By way of corruption? Dirty Drachmi? They killed people in a war they made themselves!
Fueling war was one of the methods, yes. But it was controlled. Until suddenly it wasn't. And then I didn't like what we were doing anymore.
Can't believe you're one of them.
Malaka. So you're after us?
Not you, your bloodline. People like Leonidas, like you, have always posed a threat. Then we met and you surprised me. You were nothing like Demos.
Why not just use me? I was in the palm of your hand.
You made me optimistic that you could help me bring down the cult that had become so corrupt. And you did, albeit unknowingly.
You're just like them.
You're all the same. Selfish and fucking destructive.
It was different in the beginning. It wasn't about destruction. It was about redirection.
I just don't understand. What about this Pyramid? How does it work? Why does the cult have it?
I've been trying to figure out all of that myself. It's as much of a mystery to you as it is to me. This pyramid has been worshipped by the cult for decades, and we have used it to replace the Oracle of Delphi, the most trusted person in all the Greek world. Using the people's reliance on a pantheon of dead gods would help to reshape humanity in our favor. The pyramid holds a mysterious power to see into time, but only certain people can activate it. People like Demos, and the ones in your bloodline.
But you've seen something too.
I don't know how
It's
or
like the triple
why,
helix
but it
stuff.
did show me something.
What did you see?
I saw you. In the vision, you destroyed the pyramid and you destroyed the cult. I saw what would come after.
After the cult?
We will be replaced by a new kind of order. Control under the reign of a philosopher king. There will be a movement away from the old gods towards rational society, built in a kingdom by the people, for the people. And I must find someone to lead them. But I couldn't achieve any of this with the cult and their chaotic regime. So I let them carry out their plans, and let the time of the cult of Cosmos come to an end on its own.
Wait. Did Pericles know?
I wanted to protect him, so I kept him in the dark. He would have had his own opinions, but he was never supposed to die. That is the truth.
You betrayed his trust.
He trusted you. And in the end, you didn't protect him. Maybe he'd be alive if you'd stopped them.
Gods know I would have if I could. When Demos killed him, I knew the original cause was lost. I had to retreat.
So, what happens now?
We shift focus. We steer towards a new republic under one supreme rule. A dream I'll make a reality.
But it is still a dream. One that isn't realistic.
Abandon what you know and just imagine. Forget democracy. No more blue and red. Just citizens working for a greater good.
This is crazy. It won't work, Aspasia. It didn't work.
It's not crazy. It's enlightened. Once people in Athens get wind of this, they'll come to know they've wanted it all along. Even you.
I'm not sure.
You've spent your whole life thinking for yourself. Let go. What I plan will require you to trust me. Come with me. This future's not a dream.
Nope. I am here to kill you.
I can't let you do this. You've caused so much damage. You destroyed the Greek world.
You've proven you have no understanding of what we're doing. I misjudged you.
So did I.
Oh, wow. I killed her in one shot. Whoops.
Alexios, there is much left to do now. Alexios! A storm is coming.
I can weather any storm. Wonder what today will bring.
That was very anticlimactic. I was not expecting to just like kill her in one shot. That was it. That was it? Really? Wow, that was, well, that sucked. That sucked a whole lot. Holy crap. Is there nothing else? No. Got the Lost Tales of Greece. Yes, let's unknowingly completed the job. I guess I'll maybe we'll just take a couple of these off. It sounds like it's battle. Jeez. Okay, that was very weird. So I guess technically the game ended after I defeated Demos. And you didn't really even have to do that other one? Because that was very, very lame. Very lame. Let's see what this chest had. Like, loot this chest. Wherever the hell it is. I don't see it on the screen anywhere. Where is the oh, here we go. Yep. Okay, so that was pretty darn lame. I mean, I think there would have been like just a forced boss battle or something. I mean, I get that Demos was supposed to be sort of the boss, and then I just talked her out of fighting, but still, there should have been. I mean, there should have been an alternative to that, right? Where there's some other battle or something, right? Very, very strange. That was all I needed to collect there. After all that, was just a little bit of stuff there. And what else? Go meet Socrates and see if there's any more story left there. Nothing that close, huh? Head straight on over there.
I should watch my step around here.
Alright, getting there. Slowly but surely. A little bath. Probably need one after our long adventure here. There. Door is closed. Flip it over. Go.
Behold, I've kept myself alive.
It was the one job I gave you, Socrates. I knew you could handle it.
I would have attempted it even if you hadn't told me to.
It's not as easy as it seems, staying alive. There's not many of us left.
Then let's pay tribute to them. Though they aren't here now, they were here once. Come with me. My opinion on death is a nebulous one, because I know nothing about it. Therefore, I know I shouldn't be afraid.
I'm not afraid either.
Many are, because they don't know what death holds for them. One can only trust that the gods know for certain.
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps that I've also been to an amalgamation of Hades and everything else, too. The hell? Wolves, huh? Okay, that was weird. Attacked by a wolf.
Phoebe. She never got to be a little girl. I talked to her like she was already grown up.
Which you did out of respect for her. Question your choices, Alexios, but never doubt them.
Thank you for giving her the burial she deserved.
There are countless others here in Elysium. The blessed have earned that eternal happiness. One of them is our great Pericles.
Athens owes him a debt for all he's done.
They didn't call him the first citizen of Athens for nothing. A man of many contributions, but also a private man.
Oh, I know him better.
If only he had shared this burden.
We only knew him as he presented himself to be, but who's to say that wasn't his true self?
This war has taken so many. Even Brasidas fell.
Maybe so, but as a Spartan, he fulfilled his duty and died on the battlefield.
I could have helped him more. He was on my side.
Your survival avenges him. He will be honored as a hero.
The people will remember how we brought down Cleon.
I heard Cleon was found on the beach. Massacred, no less.
It was no worse than what he would have done to his own people. I had to follow through.
Either way, let him spend his eternity in Tartarus for what he has done. And be certain our friends wait for us in the light.
I drink to that.
Who am I to say no?
Well, this has supplied me with plenty of new material for my next play.
Remember how Alexios took the monger to task for all of Corinth to see? That would suit a drama.
There's been no love scene yet. Let me provide that inspiration now.
You want romance? I hear he pursued a pirate queen.
Xenia, do tell.
My lips are sealed.
Beauty is short-lived. You may as well use it, Alcibiades.
And to that, I raise my drink.
Athens.
To Athens, and our promise to return the city to its former glory.
A tribute as good as your singing.
And to the gods.
Now, dear teacher, I think you should whisk me away for our private lesson.
I'm afraid I haven't had enough wine for that, Alcibiades.
Then someone fill his cup.
Okay, so I get that, so that's why that had popped up. Moving forward. What's Herodotus? Okay, so they're basically giving me things in order to kind of wrap up the whole, like everything that we did in the story. So I can see what they're doing here for that. See what they say over here. Oh, onto the address dude. Okay.
Just singing now.
But I'm the captain.
I also want to steer and choose where we're headed.
I don't think so.
Fine. But if anyone gets seasick on me, they're dead.
Sounds fair to me.
That's fair to me.
Commanders left the helm!
That's right, because I have Demos on the deck now.
I sometimes feel like we've spent as much time at sea as on land.
You may be right. We've traveled a lot together.
I think it may be time I set off on my own.
Well, I understand.
Of course. As much as I like you by my side, I can't expect you to stay forever.
I figured I'd take my leave while you still feel that way. It will feel strange, though.
It will take some getting used to. Well, where should I take you?
The docks near Athens should do. There are some others I'd like to say goodbye to as well.
I'm sure they'll be sorry to see you go. To Athens. Oars in!
Take Herodotus to Port Darius. Guess we'll go there directly rather than fast traveling. Why not? Take the long road. So I'm noticing that it's kind of hard, like no other ships around. I wonder if there's do I have anything to upgrade here? I know it's kind of late upgrading stuff, but I figure why not if I have the coins for it. I don't though. Yeah, I don't have the money for it. Everything's expensive. Another Helmet of the Immortal. Interesting. Huh. Going quite the way here.
We are heading
Is it? Wow. Yeah, it's actually a lot further than I thought. Let's make this go a little bit faster. Shall we? I have patience, but I don't have that much patience. I mean, it's a nice day to sail, but if we were a lot closer, it would be different. Yeah.
I sometimes pinch myself to make sure that I'm awake and that all we went through truly happened.
With your writings, it won't soon be forgotten either.
The world will be better knowing. My mind is flooded with the memories of all we experienced.
Do you have a favorite?
How could I possibly decide? You opened my eyes to so much, uncovered so many secrets and mysteries that will change the course of the world. Your spear and all it suggests. Atlantis, the cult.
Get it together.
None of those things are mine alone to take credit for. You were there through it all.
How could I ignore what was so clearly in front of me?
You couldn't, which is why you have as much of a claim to all we did.
I wonder what the great Eagle Bearer will remember best from this journey.
Atlantis, definitely.
We've been through a lot, but I'm not sure anything will ever match Atlantis.
To think, we're some of the only people to know of its existence, of your true father.
Which you promised you would keep to yourself.
Of course, of course.
You may be leaving, but I'll find you if I have to.
I guess this is it. As much as I'll miss our conversations, this is where our paths diverge.
Where are you going?
Where is your path taking you now?
To Thuri.
What's waiting for you there?
That's the exciting part. I have no idea.
I'm not sure anyone loves the unknown as much as you.
It only stays that way until someone cares enough to make it known. In Thuri, that someone will be me.
Might want to see you again.
Will I see you again?
Our paths may cross once more, and I hope they do. If that comes to pass after all, it likely means something big is following, close behind.
Then I hope our adventures are nowhere near complete.
Alright, yeah.
I've never been great at saying goodbye.
To do so is to impart a sense of finality, and we have no way of knowing if this truly is goodbye.
Good luck in your travels, Herodotus. I can't wait to hear what you get yourself into.
I'll share my stories with you, so long as you bring some new ones of your own.
I can do that.
By the way, Conquest Battle available. Alright. Anything else? Quest right here. Acabiades. I guess that's it. That's the end of the So Long Farewell quest. I have to collect my pay for this thing that I apparently... This quest I apparently completed without even realizing it. So... This is the only game that I know of where it's like, you can complete a quest, and then it's just like, like, by the way, you completed this quest, congratulations, go pick up the reward. And you never even got it to begin with, which is freaking awesome. I wish more games would do that, because it really does make it feel like the world is connected. Go Go pick this up. Right by the dock, apparently. Around up here.
Gere, anything I can do to gain Sparta some ground, Commander?
You? I know you. You're the mercenary they say killed the wolf.
Yes I did.
Well, they're right, whoever they are. And your Spartan general deserved what he got.
Then it is my duty to cut you down where you stand, traitor.
Oh, really?
Here's where you die!
Oh, quest failed, headhunters? Well, that's funny. They drew me out here just to say that my quest failed. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, that clears that up. One way or the other. So what else? I think that's everything so far. Yeah, this is just like a side thing that I don't think really matters for anything. And then we got Lost Tales of Greece, but I think we got everything done there. There's nothing on the side here, so I think we are officially done. I mean, kind of ended on a whimper, though. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Let's go and do a... Here's our new game plus. Do save. Save. Well, 100 and we kicked over to 123 hours and pretty much 1 minute. 123 hours and 1 minute. All right, let's do this. Let's wrap this puppy up. I mean, they didn't even like have the credits or anything like that. Very, very strange. Very strange. My stories. Oh, that's true. Alright. The credits running. Oh! Let me get a recording started. Well, exclamation everybody. I have just finished my playthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. 123 hours, my friends. Completed all the DLCs. And some of the... there were still a few, like, side quests here and there, but pretty much everything I did a lot. I did a lot. And so I wanted to give my thoughts on it, and I think gameplay-wise, game was great. It did have some things that I wasn't so keen on, but as far as like the moment-to-moment gameplay, it felt really good. The combat, once you get a little bit further along, the combat improves and it feels good, but it is very one note. So basically, you have abilities that you fire off, and it's almost like an MMO in combat, sort of. I mean, it's far more dynamic and far more rolling and dodging and stuff like that. But it's in many ways you have basically a hotbar and you're just like firing off. As soon as you have some adrenaline, you're firing off abilities and waiting for them to come off a cooldown and firing them off again. And the game really relies on it, because as much as you might want to stand there and fight hand to hand, mano a mano, and not use any abilities, your abilities do so much damage, like so much damage. And the at the higher levels, the enemies are just sponges. They're just HP sponges, right? So you're kind of forced to use your abilities because it's the only way you're going to get. It would take you hours to kill one person, you know, if you didn't do it. And one of the weird things, I guess it's not really weird, but it's one of the things that kind of turned me off a little bit, is once you get beyond, I think, level 30, everything starts to level up you again. So it's like you can never really over level a place per se in the game. Everything just sort of just creeps up towards your level. And by creep up, I mean basically it just gives them, like I said, thousands and thousands more HP. You have to go through with your abilities. So from that perspective, it was kind of, even though I liked it and I enjoyed it, moment-to-moment combat, it was very one-note. It was like, okay, fire off my 3 ability, fire off my 1 ability, fire off my 4 ability. You know, it's like, after a while, you just kind of get into like a very repeatable pattern. It's, like I said, very much like an MMO where it's like, okay, I gotta fire this off now, I gotta fire that off, fire that off. Wait for this to come off a cooldown, fire that one off, wait for that to come off a cooldown. You know, which there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just compared to the other games in the Assassin's Creed series, this is the only one that I feel like has done that. I know I haven't played Valhalla yet, but of all the other ones I've played, this is the only one where it feels like that's been going on, and it's kind of a crutch. It just feels like it's different. It's not a crutch, really. It's different. And I kind of liked the older, like I liked Origins better as far as the combat goes. Just a little bit, because it felt a little more fluid. It felt a little less MMO-y in its style. That said, the DLCs for this game, the Legacy of the First Blade and Atlantis, were fantastic. Legacy of the First Blade was good from a story perspective. Atlantis was fantastic from maybe not as much from a story perspective, but more from a art perspective. Like, it feels like the engine really shines when it comes to the Atlantis DLC. One of my complaints I had here is I feel like Origins was more bright and colorful. Even though, you know, there's nothing brown and dull about Odyssey. When you're in the main overworld, and that's the, you know, the Earth, the Greek overworld, it feels like there's some kind of, it's almost like the non-director's cut version of Deus Ex Human Revolution, you know, where they had that like yellow sheen over everything. It wasn't a yellow sheen, it was more like just like kind of a dirty lens kind of thing. Everything was, all the colors were just muted. Then when you got to when you visit Atlantis and you get to the locales that are built around there. I'm trying not to spoil anything for anybody. When you get to the locales around there, it's, that sheen is gone, and it's just, the colors are vibrant and beautiful, and like I've been itching at the back of my head, like in the back of my brain there's this itch, like, you know, maybe I should fire up Minecraft and like rebuild Atlantis in Minecraft, the Atlantis map, because it was just beautiful. It was fantastic. And the Elysium map, also fantastic. Even the Hades map, I mean, the aesthetic was good. The Hades map does wear on you after a while, because it's probably the only thing in the game that is just brown and dull, but I mean, it's hell. It's supposed to be, right? But it doesn't, blissfully, it doesn't last that long. You kind of get through that chapter relatively quickly. But Elysium's beautiful, and Atlantis, beautiful. And it's just like, after I finished those DLCs, I hadn't finished the main game yet, the main story yet, but I finished those DLCs and I come back into the main story and I'm like, man, everything is just so dull again. You know what I mean? Like, the Greek world is just so dull. All the colors aren't as vibrant. You know, I was missing them, definitely. So it's weird to me, because I feel like Origins, I should say, had it right. When you were going around the map in Origins, it was just perfect. And there was a perfect amount of clutter and everything else around. And I feel like the same was true for like Atlantis and stuff. Like, no matter where you stood on the map, there was something to look at. Even the Elysium map, there was something to look at no matter where you stood. Whereas in the Greek world map, there was a lot of just empty. Like, every so often you get a glimpse of, like, oh, there's a statue way off there, or oh, there's a mountaintop city over there. But it was not as much as Origins. Origins was always like, I always felt like no matter where you climbed in Origins, there was a lighthouse, or there was something to look at. You know what I mean? And it was all, like I said, it was brighter and more vibrant, I felt like. But that's it. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, it was one of my kind of beefs with the game. The other thing. So, the abilities in the game, as I alluded to, you know, your combat really more MMO style, and you really rely on your abilities. I feel like this game really kind of abandoned the more traditional Assassin's Creed ability. Like, I think probably Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity was probably the peak of like how to mix RPG abilities with your character development, I think, as far as the series is concerned. Because all the abilities felt like your character is learning as they're going, they're growing, they're expanding. Here it was, and I get what they were going for. Here it was like, you've been blessed by the gods, here's an ability to like do this, or an ability to do that. And I get it, because it's Odyssey, and you know, you're talking about the Iliad and the Odyssey and all the adventures and all that stuff. But it fits the theme, but at the same time, it doesn't fit Assassin's Creed, I feel like they were much better off when the abilities like made sense as far as you as a developing and growing and expanding assassin. Now, that said, in this game, you're not really an assassin. The Assassin's Guild has not been created yet, because this actually is a prequel to Origins. So in Origins is where, you know, towards the end of that, you actually get the beginnings of the assassins and all that stuff. Here is just kind of before all that happens, the groundwork of all that. Which the interesting thing about this is that this one delves far more into the precursors and the what do they call them? Illyriums, Illusiums. I forget exactly. It's with an I, and it escapes my brain at the moment. This one actually digs into more of like, it gives us more information about them than I think Origins did, and maybe even more so than any other game in the Assassin's Creed series, except for maybe Revelations. Yeah, Revelations was where we avoided the solar flare. I think this is probably second to that as far as like giving you information about the precursors and stuff. I always like to call them the precursors because it reminds me of Halo and things. So that was good. They bring back the modern day chick that I can never remember her name because she's such a forgettable character from Origins, and in this one they managed to make her even more annoying than she was in Origin, and I could have done without that. She was super annoying. You get a little bit of her in the main story, and then she just blissfully goes away and you never hear from her again until you start to do the Atlantis DLC. In fact, she's not even in the Legacy of the First Blade or anything. It's just the Atlantis DLC where she comes back, and boy is she at her most annoying in the Atlantis DLC. It does serve to tie things together, but it's also a very jarring experience. I think from what I can gather, the DLCs were released in 3 chapters, and whenever you have a chapter break, like now that you have all 3 together, they don't flow together quite as well. Like the Legacy of the First Blade, 3 chapters flow together okay, well enough. I mean, there's a little, you can see where it kind of jumps from one to the next, but the Atlantis DLC, the 3 chapters don't blend together too well at their chapter breaks, and a lot of it has to do with she's just at her most annoying phase, and oftentimes what it'll do to break, like the chapter break will come by pulling you out of the story and putting you back into her shoes, and there's literally nothing going on that's worth your time being pulled out of the anime. So that's unfortunate, because I always like the out of the anime stuff because I feel like that helps tie everything together, and it's the more sci-fi aspect of it. But they haven't done a good job with that in a long time. I think 4 and Rogue, I think Black Flag and Rogue, I think were the last times they did really a decent job with the out of the anime stuff. After that, it's kind of drops off a cliff, which is unfortunate. The other thing, this game, as far as the story is concerned, Origins was a much better story, in my opinion, because it didn't waste your time. Like, Origins kind of came in and it's like, alright, we got a story to tell. You might have to grind a little bit here and there, but we're basically going to keep rolling forward. You know, you're not going to be out of the action so long that you don't remember what's going on, which was good. The problem with Odyssey is that everything's been dragged out to like ridiculous level. It gets to a point where there are times when I literally could not tell the difference between a side quest and a main quest, because everything was so inconsequential. And in fact, what this game has you do is, much like in Origins, you have to track down a cult and kill all the members of it. A lot of the cult members, you literally cannot find them. Like, you can follow the clues and be in the exact spot you need to be in, but they won't spawn until you do some side quest. And so what happens there is that it breaks the story up in a way that by the time you actually get back to some semblance of a main quest, you don't even remember who the hell is doing what or why, whose motivations are whose and why. It's just a blur after a while. After a while, it's just like, here's another character you don't give a damn about. Here's another character even at the very end, and here's a bit of a spoiler, but at the very end, the story just kind of ends. It's not really, it just kind of just was like, hey, okay, great. You killed the last cult member. Hurrah. And then that's it. And then it gives you like 2 quests to kind of to talk to your old friends, your old buddies, and kind of wrap up their stories, and they remind you of things that you did. That at this, by that point you're 100 hours in and you don't even remember, you barely remember what you did in the game. And yeah, it's like just kind of, it whimpers out. It doesn't end on a decent note. It doesn't even roll credits. It just kind of like, meh, you can play New Game Plus now. That's it. And it's like, it's very jarring. It's very disappointing too. Because they don't really, and I suppose again, like that goes with sort of the Odyssey and Iliad theme, where it's just it's a collection of short stories, and that's essentially, I think, what they were trying to do here was to like, oh, we'll just have a bunch of quests that are just a bunch of short stories, and really the idea is that you're just following your main character around through the world, and then at the very end, everything just kind of, they just keep, they just ride off into the sunset and they just keep on going. And it's not that great in video game form. It feels like you needed to kind of have a tighter grasp on the narrative and at least wrap it up a little more satisfactorily. And it really doesn't. Like, the final cultist is a surprise, but I also killed them in one shot. Like, I literally one shot them because I'm like level 72. I've gone through all the DLCs, and that was it. There was no like big battle. It just kind of whimpers out. And so, I don't know. And some of that just has to do with, there were choices that I made that made the battle previous to that not be a battle. And I feel like that was really where they were expecting you to kind of having a battle, and they were going to make it big and epic and all that stuff. And then if you don't do that, then you really just get like the lamest ending possible. But I mean, it couldn't have been that bad because I've played 123 hours total on the game. So it certainly kept my interest. It was definitely getting to a point where I'm like, I just need to be done with this. It definitely overstays its welcome by about 60 hours. I would say it overstays its welcome by about 60 hours. If they could have tightened up the story and everything, I think it would have been a lot better. And it wouldn't have been so muddy as far as like what's story and what isn't story and what do I care about and what, all this stuff. It does introduce like conquest battles and things. They're interesting the first time you do them, and then after that they're bland. The mechanic of having mercenaries come after you is certainly not something new to Assassin's Creed. It's interesting how they've done it where, if you kill enough mercenaries, you get some rewards for it. But the game definitely feels a little bit broken as you get further and further leveled up, where you'll suddenly have, you'll be going after a main target, like a cultist or something, and you'll very quickly, if you picture GTA or something, you'll very quickly get 3 stars, and suddenly you've got mercenaries just spawning out of thin air right behind you, and you're fighting like 4 of them at a time, and then you kill a couple, then 5 more spawn in. It gets to a point where it just gets super ridiculous. And my understanding that they don't ever revisit that mechanic, and I hope they never do, because it's pretty bad. Like it was interesting, an interesting idea, but it was it got really annoying after a while, and not a whole lot of fun to deal with. So there was that, but otherwise, like any other Assassin's Creed game, the music is fantastic when it's actually playing, and unfortunately, much like most of the Assassin's Creed games, the music doesn't play nearly enough. You're mostly just no soundscape at all, which is unfortunate because it's good when it's there. It's just not there enough. And I don't know. I think that about wraps it up. I did have some performance issues with. I think it has like this adaptive quality thing, and oof, that's a stuttery mess. So I turned that off. I think also when I first started the game up, at least for the first 2 to 3 hours, I had a lot more frame drops than I have had for the rest of the game. So if you're running in the early game and you're maybe 3 hours, 4 hours in, it's likely that the game will clear up for you after that. I suspect that there's some kind of delayed shader building or compiling or something that's causing that. I'm not sure, but it definitely improves later on. Now, the one thing that doesn't improve is once you're about 100 hours in, the game starts up very slowly. I think it has something to do with loading your save games and stuff. They're so huge, and for whatever reason, and I've had this problem with every Assassin's Creed game, well, most Assassin's Creed games. I get this flickering on my screen, and I don't think you guys are seeing it in the recording. I'm definitely seeing it on my monitor, but my monitor flickers, and I don't know if it's just, I don't know why the Assassin's Creed games do this. I don't know if they just have the wrong settings for what your monitor should be, the wrong refresh rate, or what it is, but they've all done it, and it's a little bit annoying. I definitely had to turn VSync on because there was a crap ton of frame cheering, so there was that. But otherwise, it's worked pretty well. Otherwise, I haven't really had any real problems with it. They do have a quick save that, unlike other Assassin's Creed games, that you can actually quick save on this. Unfortunately, you can't quick save when you're in an area that is with enemies. You kind of have to you still have to repeat a bunch of the game, which I think is was a little bit annoying at times, but it is what it is. So yeah, I think that about covers everything, my friends. This has been Assassin's Creed Odyssey. As far as where does this fall as in my grand scheme of all the Assassin's Creed games I've played up to this point, I would still put Assassin's Creed Brotherhood as first on my list. I think Origins, I think, is second. And I would say third is Syndicate. And fourth is probably Revelation. I would say. And Odyssey is maybe seventh or so. I enjoyed it, but as far as Assassin's Creed games go, I enjoyed other ones more. Put it that way. I especially enjoyed. I mean, Brotherhood's at the top of my list because there has not been an Assassin's Creed game like it where it just comes in and it's story beat, boom, 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 boom. It comes in, it tells a story, and it gets the hell out of your hair, right? And it is a good story, and it's got a character that is enjoyable. It's got Ezio, that, a character that is well-rounded and everything else, and well acted and everything. So that's why that's always constantly at the top of my list. And Syndicate is high up there because, again, the story of Syndicate was good, but I felt like everything else about it too, like the mechanics and like I said, Unity was good as far as like the RPG mechanics of like leveling up your character and stuff. Syndicate was also good. Syndicate went a little bit weird with some of the abilities that you get, but it was pretty good and overall. And I liked some of the events, like some of the world events you do in Syndicate. I felt like everything kind of flowed really well, and it all made sense. So that's why that's high up in the list. Anyway, I'll do it for my playthrough of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I'll do it for my review of it. So for those watching this recording on the YouTubes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so I got that recording saved there. I think we went through all the credits. I think we were going through it a second time. I don't know if I missed any, but it felt like I think enough people got the credits. I didn't see the credits read due on me, so I don't know if there was if I had made it to the end of them or not. Anyway, friends, I'm going to switch over, and we're going to pick up some Slime Rancher. So, for those of you on YouTube, I am going to go offline on this particular stream, and then I'm going to come online again in a minute or two in a different stream that has different tags and everything. Everyone else, hang tight. We're just going to switch over our titles and stuff. So, hang loose, friends. Hang loose.